Snakes and fakes may try to take my place. Little do they know I'm running first in this race. As I laugh on their face, leaving the dust without a trace, I got facts. With nothing to prove, absent a lack. I flow on this track with straight precision. I attract what I want, it's my decision. I didn't forget, I'm the devil that didn't want but couldn't crack. So get back, cause I attract but don't front. Old school, leaning in the back of a white Cadillac like the Mac. It's like you're drowning that fear until no rain. Or better still, joy you never knew, absent of pain. Excuse me, let me refrain. Damn, isn't that insane? Anyway, let me shift gears, stay in your lane. As I'm driving into the truth, that's what I do. I know who I am, but who are you?
Hello, welcome, good people. Another episode of The Good Word with Mr. Frederick, yours truly. All right, guys, glad to be here. Glory to God, all glory to God. Okay, family, we're going to get right into this message today, which is a good one for you guys. And it is pretty much truth. The truth shall set you free, family. Yes, I said it. The truth shall set you free. Okay? And we're going to get right into it. All right, family. First of all, what you want to understand is that you want to be able to walk in your truth for a lot of reasons. It's your protection. I mean, clearly the word 832, the way, the truth, and the life. You know, Jesus saying you have to really walk in truth, because once you start walking your truth, what's going to happen is you will see that certain things, not that everything's going to be perfect, but certain things won't come upon you. They won't be able to manipulate you. They won't be able to infiltrate you. It creates a barrier between you and negativity, falsehoods, an enemy to get in. Okay, for all of those negative darkness energies, when you are not living in truth, that's like a crack that they could seep through, and people can use it against you. And of course, you know, we're not perfect, family, so you're going to make some mistakes along your journey. It's part of the process. It's the way it's written, okay? However, once you start to get on the right path and walk in the truth as much as you can, you'll see a significant change and improvement in your life and how you live, okay? And you have a certain amount of protection from that. Just certain things can't get in, all right? So what you got to understand is you may stray away. You know, they say you train up a child right, they might go away, you know, but they will return as they get older. So that happens. That is true, family. You might go away, but you will come back. You will come back to the word. So that's why it's important to teach our children early on the power of God, the power of being truthful. Okay, so even if they stray away, they will return back to that word, back to that walk of faith in the truth. Okay, so understand this as well. You know, you'll see your life improve. You'll see things happen, but you're also going to have a certain amount of individuals that are not going to like that. They're not going to like you being blunt and honest with them. Let's be real. A lot of people, they don't like living in truth. A lot of people, it makes them very uncomfortable, because now they have to be accountable for their actions, for their past, which maybe they're hiding. Maybe they don't want to face it. Maybe they have discovered and developed a whole way of living in a whole falsehood, a whole different reality that's in another world. And they've developed this over time that makes them comfortable. So they're in their little cocoon, and here you coming, you're awakened spiritually, and you're coming with truth and saying, hey, I know that this is not the way for me. This is not what's helped me. This was leading me to alcoholism. This was leading me to smoking, to fornication, to all of these things that were a detriment to me. It's like a slippery slope. Yeah, they might provide a quick fix, some superficial stimulation temporarily, but in the long run, that's how the devil gets in. He gives you a quick little hit of something that says joy, that says stimulation, that says happiness. But it's a trap, family, because as you do these things long term, you will see he's getting back. You're selling off little pieces of your soul little by little, and you don't even realize it until next thing you know, you have to have this. If you don't have this, you're nothing. You don't exist. And you're around the wrong people, doing the wrong things consistently. And you wonder, where did this start? How did this happen? You don't even remember. You're so far gone, you can't even remember how you got there. That's how bad it is. But there's hope. There is hope, family. Once you start to become truthful, you start analyzing and looking at yourself, looking at your life honestly. And if you have things about you that aren't good, people around you that have things about them that aren't good, you can see them and see yourself for what you are and see people around you for what they are. If they suffer from narcissism, if you're not truthful, you can't acknowledge that. You'll say, oh, that's just Uncle Jimmy. Oh, that's just Big Mama. When no, Big Mama has histrionic personality disorder. He's a psychopath. You know, Uncle Jimmy he's a sociopath. He has narcissistic personality disorder. All of these things that aren't good, that are detrimental to them and everyone around them, you can't call it out. So if you can't call others out, you can't call yourself out. Because you say, okay, well, that's Uncle Jimmy, that's Big Mama, that's this, that. So now you accept those same things in yourself. So where's that lead everybody? That leads everybody down the drain, right where the enemy wants you, right in his hands, where you have all these ailments and all these issues that's hurting everyone in the world, including yourself, and you can't even recognize it. You can't even acknowledge it. All because why? You deny the truth. You see, family, what do they say? The old saying is, the greatest trick that the devil ever pulled was that he doesn't exist. That is correct, family. That he does not exist. How can you fight something that doesn't exist? If you say, oh, no, it's no enemy, it's no devil, it's all in my head, it's all me. It's all in me. I'm my own God, I'm my own devil, it's all me. I'm in control of everything. You see, now, the word doesn't matter. Now, nothing matters but what you think. So when things are beyond you, what do you have to fall back on? Nothing. When all along, you got an enemy tricking you and doing things to you, manipulating you and others around you that you can't even acknowledge or see. What a war. You know, guys, I always go back to history with you guys. I say you need your own history, but you also need to examine world history. All history is great. History is a great teacher. If you examine history, you learn a lot about how you got where you're at. So when you look at war history, what's one of the greatest weapons that armies use, military use? Deception. Military use stealth bombers for a reason. You can't see them. How you gonna fight a plane you can't even see? They're bombing you all over the place. You don't even know where it's at. You don't know where to shoot. You don't even know where to shoot at. You can't see it. It's not on the radar. Okay, spies, espionage. Tell you it's one thing when it's another. I'm your friend. All along, I'm gathering all the information, giving it back to the enemy. Okay? Giving it back to the enemy all along. Hey, yeah, where you do that at? Where you hide that at? Oh, you do it? That's how wars are won. Deception. Okay? Convincing something, telling you it's something when it's something else. Saying something doesn't even exist. It's a figment of your imagination. When all along, if you was able to recognize that enemy right in front of you, you would have got away from him. You would have avoided any of the attacks. If you saw what it was, prayed up, got the downloads and the messages from the Most High, now you're spiritually moving correctly. Now you're saying, ooh, I'm going to eliminate that. I see that's an opening. I'm going to eliminate this. But you first got to call it out. And that takes truth. So when you find people, family, that are upset at you because you're truthful with yourself and them, don't fret. If they depart from you, it's meant to be. It's a welcome departure. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, enemy. Because anyone that is upset at you for you being truthful and they leave, oh my goodness. You better have a celebration and a parade. You better have a party that they're gone. Because if they're around you and they can't be truthful about who they are and what they've done, now you make the decision if you see someone that wants to come clean with you, whether you accept them or not. But that's a lot better than someone that keeps deceiving you and never comes to truth with you. I tell you what, I'll trust that person before someone that keeps doing it. Okay? So understand that it's a celebration if someone wants to leave your nation because you being truthful. Just like the army, or just like the military, same premise. So understand, family, we have to walk in our truth. No matter who it angers, anyone that's against it, the seeds of darkness. All these things are known and is written, and you shall be set free by the truth, the way, the light. Proverbs 12:22 says, the Lord detests lying lips. Detests. However, he's delighted with those who are trustworthy. Think about that. If God detests you doing that, come on. You already know the answer. So, it's either walking in the right way or walking in the wrong way. It's going to be people that's going to tell you, oh, no, it's complicated. It's not complicated. What's complicated is you going against this word. The only complication is you facing your truth and having to deal with it and now being held accountable and being judged. But see, just like the enemy works in that way, you can't see the Lord either. So think about it. You can't see, but you still believe. So if his word says be truthful and he detests that power, who's more powerful? Who are you more afraid of? I know who you better be more afraid of. You better fear the Lord. And you better walk the right way. So when you get these messages and individuals that have the message come through them because they've walked the wrong way. They've seen what the wrong way did to them. They've seen how it put them in that pit where they didn't know if they were going to make it or not. See, people wonder why God picked this person. Why God picked this person to give this message? I even wonder. Okay, why? Why? But then you got to ask why? Because you got to understand the Lord works in mysterious ways. But when you really think about it, this is not that mysterious. How could someone tell you something that they have not done? If they didn't gamble, if they didn't fornicate, if they weren't an adulterer, if they didn't steal, if they didn't lie, if they didn't do all these things, how can they tell you what happens to you? You see, blessed is the ones that the Lord corrects. If he corrects you from those things, it's for a reason. It's not just, oh, I'm going to correct you so you keep on doing it. I'm going to correct you so you can keep, no, that ain't how it works. It corrects you so you can see. Whoa, I see what I get when I do that. And when that happens, now you are faced with a choice. Rather to keep going on that wrong way or to come back. Just like the word says, when he gets old, he will return. If he's brought up in the right way, he will return. So you're going to be faced with that choice. And it's not that scary when you think about it, family. It all boils down to truth. The truth is, I know I was wrong doing those things. It says don't be a drunkard. Okay, it says all of these things about your body is your temple and how you use it and who you're around and all of these things are in the word. So how can someone who has not experienced this tell you what it leads to? So when God corrects you and he gives you the ability to redeem yourself, it's for a reason, it's for a purpose. You're blessed. And take it as a blessing. Don't take it as a lesson that is condemning you. Take it as a blessing. Wow, God allowed me to survive that. So what do I do now? Now it's time for me to walk upright and walk the way I know. See, it's one thing not to know the way. I mean, come on. You don't know any better. But when you know better, you do better. And that's all we're saying, family, is be truthful, because truth is the light. Truth is the light. It shall set you free. And once you're free, you don't want to go back locked up. You see someone who's been locked down for a long time, they're sane. I'm not talking about somebody who's lost their mind, because that happens. People do, honestly, get incarcerated or whatever, and they're gone mentally. But someone that still has their brain, okay, their right mind. When they get out, think about it. How many of them have you seen say, hey, I want to go back? No, they don't want to ever go back. They say, I don't want to ever be told what to do, when to wake up, when to eat, when to shower, can't go outside. They don't want that. And it's the same thing for you, family. When you've been locked up in darkness and walking in that darkness, and it's just a trap, because eventually it's going to take you under. You don't want to ever go back to that. You're like, you know what? If someone's going to bring me back to that, I don't need them. That's the truth. Once the truth comes to you, you don't want to go back into lies. And anyone who makes you or encourages you or allows you to do that, you don't need to be around them. And that will point you to the light. That will point you to the right way for your life. And everything starts to unlock after that. All of the things, all of the blessings, all of your pathway. Me as a life coach, I can't coach anyone to do anything that I haven't done. Who are the best coaches in history? The best coaches in history have some form. They played that game. Think of sports. The best coaches have played. They might have not been the best, but they played that game. They were familiar with that game. They might have didn't play in the pros. They played in high school. I guarantee you, you will be hard pressed to find a coach who's never played that game. Elementary, middle school, high school, college, professional. Find a coach who's never played the game in their coaching. You'd be hard pressed to find that. I would say they don't exist. They played that game at some point in their life. And that's the same thing with a life coach. A life coach should have experienced the same perils that they're trying to bring you up from, because that's how they know how to do it. They're going to tell you to not stop smoking, to how to stop smoking. They've never smoked. They're going to tell you the perils of drinking. They've never overdrank, been a drunkard. They've never done it. They're going to tell you the perils of being promiscuous, okay? Or not honoring their temple, and they've never dishonored their temple. Easy for someone to do that. But someone who's been in that darkness and came out, I'm going to listen to that person, because I want to know what's the road, what's the path. And that's with the truth. It starts with the truth. You got to be honest with these things that are affecting you in a negative way in your life, that are stopping you from being your most productive. You have to be honest about that. There's no way in the world you can go to the gym and drink a 40 ounce before you go, and it's going to be more productive than having a smoothie before you go, drinking a half gallon of water before you go. It's no way. So you got to have the right path, not the wrong. And it's not chastisement, family. What it actually is correction. Because remember, blessed is the ones that the Lord corrects, and corrects you with truth and the light and the way. Know it, embrace it, love it, and love what you do, and do what you love. Peace.